Let's talk about one of the most powerful moves you can make for your future. We're diving into why a Bachelor of Business Administration, yeah, a BBA, is so much more than just a piece of paper. Honestly, it might just be the most strategic asset you can possibly build.
Okay, so let me start by asking you a question. Just think about this for a sec. You've got a top-tier hospital, a super innovative AI startup, and a massive global nonprofit. On the surface, they seem totally different, right? But what's the one thing that actually connects all of them?
Now, I bet I know what you're thinking. Technology, right? And you know what? That's a great guess. In today's world, it's the obvious answer. But it's not the real secret ingredient.
The truth? It's actually a lot simpler and way more fundamental. It's management. Yep. Without a rock-solid core of strategy, finance, operations, and leadership, none of those organizations could even function, let alone succeed. Management is the engine that makes everything else go.
So that brings us to our very first big idea, the Evergreen Engine. We're going to break down what makes business administration such a powerful constant in a world that is, let's face it, always changing.
So when I say evergreen, what do I actually mean? Well, think of it this way. It's a career path built on skills that just don't go out of style. You know, a specific coding language might be hot today and gone tomorrow, but the fundamental skills of managing people, money, and projects, those are timeless. A BBA gives you that unshakable foundation.
And that kind of stability leads us right into our next point, your universal key. I want you to start thinking of a business degree as a master key that can unlock the door to literally any industry you're passionate about.
See, unlike a super specialized degree, a BBA is what we call industry agnostic. It doesn't trap you, it doesn't lock you in one room for the rest of your life. If your entire career is built on one very specific skill and that skill becomes obsolete, well, you're in trouble. But with business, you hold the key to the whole building.
And I mean any field. Are you obsessed with video games? You don't have to be a developer. You can be the product manager who decides what gets built. Are you fascinated by space travel? Awesome! Those rocket companies desperately need people who can manage their supply chains and finances. From fashion to sports to saving the world, a BBA lets you turn your passion into your profession.
What you're building is what industry experts call a T-shaped skill set. So picture the letter T. The BBA gives you that wide horizontal bar, a solid understanding of finance, marketing, operations, all the stuff that applies everywhere. Then you get to build the deep vertical bar by specializing in the industry you truly love. It's the best of both worlds.
All right, let's talk about the big one, the thing that's on everybody's mind, future-proofing your career. How in the world does a business degree stand up in this crazy age of AI, automation, and constant uncertainty?
Let's just tackle the elephant in the room head-on, shall we? Will AI take your job? It's a scary question, and honestly, it's one we all need to be thinking about.
Well, here's the real answer. AI will take over tasks, but it can't take over roles. See, you have to understand the difference between the robot layer and the human layer. AI is a genius at the robot stuff, calculating, analyzing data, spotting trends. But BBA grads, we operate in the human layer. AI can't negotiate a high-stakes deal. It can't inspire a team that's feeling defeated, and it certainly can't make a tough ethical call. Those are human skills, period.
And this really gets to the heart of it all. An algorithm can spit out a recommendation, right? It could say, lay off 15% of your staff to improve profits. But it has zero concept of the human cost, the impact on morale, or the damage to your company's reputation. That final call requires judgment, empathy, and ethical responsibility, the very things a business education is designed to develop.
And hey, it's not just about AI. What about the economy? The amazing thing about business skills is that they are incredibly resilient. They're not just valuable when things are good. They become absolutely essential when things get tough. Just think about it. When the economy is booming, companies need smart people to manage all that growth and seize new opportunities. But when things go south, they need those exact same people to manage survival, to find efficiencies, streamline operations, and make tough strategic choices. Whether the sun is shining or it's pouring rain, a sharp business mind is always in demand. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's get practical and talk about the BBA Career Launchpad. We're going to map out how you go from a fresh graduate to a real strategic leader. You can really think of your career in 3 phases. Phase 1 is the foundation. The first couple of years, you're just learning the ropes and mastering how to get things done. Then you move into Phase 2, specialization. This is where you shift from doing the work yourself to managing the people and the processes. And finally, you hit Phase 3,
leadership. Now your job isn't about day-to-day tasks, it's about setting the long-term vision for the entire company.
And this path is so clear. Let's make it super concrete. Say you love marketing. You might start out as a social media executive. A few years later, you're a brand manager. Keep going, and you could become the chief marketing officer. The same exact trajectory exists whether you're in finance, HR, or operations. It's a proven launchpad right to the top.
And that brings us to our final and maybe my favorite idea, becoming the architect. This is about shifting your entire mindset. You're not just looking for a job, you are actively designing and building your own future.
You know, if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. A lot of degrees will teach you how to use a tool, a specific piece of software, a particular lab technique, and that's fine. But a BBA teaches you how to build the whole house. It gives you the blueprint.
This is why a business degree is the foundation for the ultimate roles in our world. It's the degree that creates entrepreneurs, that shapes CEOs, that develops strategists, and that unleashes innovators who completely change the game.
At the end of the day, it's about investing in your own resilience, your own adaptability. It gives you the skills and the confidence to look at a completely uncertain future and say, you know what, whatever happens, whatever it looks like, I'll be one of the people managing it.
Because no matter what changes, the world will always need builders. It will always need leaders. It will always need visionaries. So the only real question is, are you ready to become one?